Happy Monday, everybody. Today we're going to be doing lesson 11.5, which is about unit cubes and solid figures. So, first things first, what we want to talk about in this lesson is what is a unit cube, and then how can we use it to build a solid figure. This lesson is going to be a lot easier than what you're expecting. So, we do have a live lesson on this today. If you have, I posted on the agenda already, but if this is super easy for you, I'm not going to require everyone to come to the live lesson today just because it's such a straightforward concept. You can still come if you would like just to review it again, or if you just want to see everybody and talk, that's fine too. But again, this is a very straightforward and simple concept, so you guys are free to skip on this live lesson today if you want. So for the investigate, we can't actually do it. I don't have any unit cubes at home to show you, and I'm sure you guys don't have unit cubes either. If you have something, Legos or something that are in the shape of a unit cube, you can feel free to do this investigate. But what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to tell you the results of the investigate so that we can get what we need from it. So the idea is that you can build rectangular prisms using unit cubes. So if you have a certain number of unit cubes, you want to figure out how many different rectangular prisms you can make. So if you do want to try the investigate, if you have something like this, then you can. And if you do that, I would love to see pictures. You can post. So what is a unit cube? A unit cube is a cube that has length, width, and height of 1 unit. So whenever you have something that's called a unit something, it has to do with the number 1 usually. So way back in the day, we talked about unit fractions. And if you recall, unit fractions had a numerator of 1, right? So it's the same type of a thing. The unit cube, all of its lengths and widths and heights are 1, okay? So if we're looking at a cube, we want to know how many faces it has. So what is a face? A face is basically one of the sides, okay? That's 1 face. And then there's another one on the other side, so that's 2. Then there's one here and another one on the other side, so that's 4. And then there's a top and a bottom, so that's 6. So a cube has 6 square faces. You can think of dice as well. And all of the faces are congruent. And remember that congruent means same size and same shape. Now, how many edges does it have? Edges are these lines, right? So every face has, if you have 6 faces, then you've got 2 edges. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And they are all equal again. Okay? So this part we can't do, but if you were going to build a rectangular prism that had 2 cubes, what you would basically be doing is putting 2 of them together. So I could try to draw a little sketch for you. And if you are able to do this yourself, then you can skip this part of the lesson. Okay. Now, what you want to imagine when you're putting them together is that when you have the 2 faces pushed together, you don't want to consider that 2. This counts as 1 face now. Okay? So when you put them together, how many faces does it have? Well, when they're together, they still make 1. So there's still 6 faces altogether. And there's still 12 edges. Okay? So, when we're talking about why the rectangular prism that has 2 cubes still has the same number of faces, well, the 1 face of a cube completely covers the face of the other unit cube. And both of them are in the prism, and so that means that it still has 6 faces. Okay? So again, you can investigate with that and have fun with that if you're able to. So this is why I'm saying this is a simple lesson. So what you can do is you can You can literally think of something like Legos or blocks, but you can build other solid figures and compare them by counting the number of cubes, and this is just simply counting. So this figure it's made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 unit cubes. Okay? And this figure is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unit cubes. So if we wanted to compare them, figure 1 has more unit cubes than figure 2, and we can see that because it has 6 and this one has 5. So figure 1 has more unit cubes than figure 2. Very, very simple. So for the share and show, what we're doing is we're just practicing looking at how many unit cubes these figures are made up of. And the purpose of this is because we're going to end up using these to talk about volume. So we have to make sure that we understand how we look at these and interpret them. So for number 1, this rectangular prism is made up of 1, 2, 3 cubes. That's it. This one, how many cubes is this made up of? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 unit cubes. These are simple because there's only one row of them. Now we have to be careful because something like this has 2 rows. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but then we have another layer back here if you notice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's actually 12. So one way of counting is to count the front layer and then double it, as you know that there's another layer in the back. And for number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 unit cubes. Okay, guys, super, super easy. And finally, to finish off, we're just going to practice comparing. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unit cubes in this figure, and this figure is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as well. So we're going to compare them, less than, greater than, or equal. In this case, they are equal. And for number 7, 1, 2, 3, 4 unit cubes, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unit cubes. So this is less than. Okay? And believe it or not, that is actually it for this lesson. So when you do your homework, literally all you're doing is counting the cubes and then comparing them. And again, I just want to stress that this seems really simple. The purpose of this is to just ensure that we're ready to use this to actually look at volume. Okay, so have fun counting.